Hey gang, Scott Davenport here. Well, today's video is about a topic that we hope we never have to talk about, which is corrupt memory cards. So I have this SanDisk memory card here with this little patch of paper on it. And I threw this inside this case during a week-long photo shoot up in Sonoma County, because when I imported photos, I had this stuff show up on a handful of my shots. Actually, more than a handful. I only kept these because I'm hoping that I can do some salvaging, because in particular, like this one here, I really like the water action, but this bizarre looking, strange, it's like, pixelation. It's almost like a multi-exposure kind of happened and kind of didn't, and this weird magenta stuff going on. Didn't happen on all the photos, but I figured why not keep the card. Normally I'll just throw this thing away at this point and maybe try to do some image recovery. So I bought this from SanDisk, and they come with these little cards inside them, little papers that say here is a recovery software that you can go and use. Try to recover files, photos. It actually will do a whole variety of things. Now I am curious about these particular photos because the file's intact, meaning I can see the photo. It's just that the data within it seems to be all jumbled up. I don't know if the tool is going to be able to recover this or not. I figured why not record the adventure and we'll see what we come up with on the other side. So I need to first go download the software and then we'll fire it up and see how it does. All right, first kind of interesting thing here is that the software is not on SanDisk's website. I guess this is done by a third-party LC Tech. That is what's on the card, so I'm going to trust that this is the software I need. I've downloaded the Mac software. I've gone through the steps now to go and get my activation key. I guess a nice thing is you get 2 years with this software, so if I have some other card that gets munged, I still have this software to work with. Well, let's go ahead and fire up the tool and see how this thing works. So let me get my corrupt memory card into my computer, and then we'll fire this thing up. All right, RescuePRO Deluxe from SanDisk, and I want to recover photos. This is certainly an app that has been written a long time ago, or at least the icons have. This is pretty interesting. Now, scanning for connected devices, I'm already starting to get nervous because I don't want it to go find anything that I don't want to touch, such as my external hard drives. And so let's see, built-in, no, removable Apple disk, backup image file. This is probably what I want, but no, this is going to be it here. SDXC 128 megabyte, that's the card that I have. I honestly don't know where this other one is coming from because I don't have a 72 megabyte something or other. It might be a disk image that it's finding. So let's take a look. Now, enable fragmented recovery. What does that mean? All right, fragmented files. Some files have been fragmented, deleting, reshooting, or missing. Okay, so let's see, fragmented half the image missing, colored stripes in the picture. Hey, so that looks promising. We're going to give that checkbox a try. All right, so we'll turn that on. May take a long time to complete. Only enable this recover video cameras known to produce fragmented files. All right, well, you know what? I'll say no, and I'll just try to do it on its own. Here we go. All right, well, we're certainly not going to wait 30 minutes for this to finish its scan, so I'll stop recording, go do something else, and we'll see what this looks like when I come back. All right, so the scan's finished, and it looks like it found a whole bunch of files. I'm not sure what the SR2 is all about, but I'm going to assume if I pick on one of these, we'll get a look at it. Now that's interesting. This is not one that I had previously seen as corrupted before. I'm going to try this output folder area. Let's take a look at what that is. All right, so definitely interesting that, once again, it looks like the individual photo, which the thumbnail is very different from what is being shown to me on screen. This actually looked like the previous photo. This one here is one that was at least from around the same time I was shooting. So there's certainly something going on with that memory card. But what I'm interested to find out, let me go back to my Lightroom catalog. I'm interested to find things that were, at this location. I've got some cliffs, some streaky water here. Let's see if I can find those in this tool, and I'll skim the thumbnails first. So I had quite a bit of content on this memory card, most of which had already been backed up. Here we go. Now we're getting closer. Here's that beach. And here are some of the images where we have that streaky looking water. I wonder if there's a way for me to make that thumbnail a little bigger. It doesn't look like I get that choice. So, okay, let's start taking a look at some of these. All right, so all of these look promising. Now what if I do show more? Do I get some interesting stuff here? Because the interesting part here is what I'm missing is some of the metadata. The file names are different. I don't get the metadata of when I captured the photo. Actually, no, it looks like I do. Oh, fantastic. So content created here. Let's go back to that Lightroom catalog. And let me pick on this one here. So I'll go into my default metadata, and this was captured on the 16th, 8:02 p.m. All right, back to here. All right, I'm 7:58, starting to get in here. So let's see. Let's just jump ahead a little bit. 7:59, 8 o'clock. Can tell that I'm working this scene, getting the water to do its thing. All right, 8:02. That was one of the ones that had some problems. Let's take a look. There probably be 2 or 3 photos right around this time as I'm capturing a bunch as the waves flow in and out. Okay, that does look like the image here, at least in part. Let's go big here. Let's kind of focus on one of these corners here where there's these wisps of water. And that's a little different. What do we got over here? This is 8 o'clock. That was a little bit earlier. Now, maybe there are files that it simply could not recover. But what is interesting is it did find certain things. So I think what I'll do next is for the photos that are in this time range where I've got a problem, I go back to that Lightroom catalog here, and I have photos that range from the ones I'm really interested in, this one not so much. This one here from 7:43 p.m. until 8:02 p.m. I'm going to find that range, save those out, bring those into Lightroom as a special folder, and take a second look at them and see if I've gotten some recovery here. All right, well, now I've got these all back imported into Lightroom. It's finishing up doing its previews, and I've created a view. I can see the photos that I had problems with, which are in green, and then the photos I just brought in, which are in red. And probably should have had that color scheme switched, but here we are. And what I am seeing is, at least for some of the photos, I have a recovered image. Like this one here, which was problematic. There was some nice cool water action here. I have that photo here. And so this one says it was 7:58. This one, there it is. So that's great. So I've actually recovered that one. I'm going to set that to 3 stars so it drops out of this view, and I'll move on. Let's see if I was able to recover any others. These two look similar, right? So this one here, 16th, 7:58:29. Yep. So I'm getting some recovery here, not all, but some. This one's a very interesting one because it does look like an amalgamation of 3 different photos, and I'm not sure what it's grabbing. Maybe some of this wave water here, but this being a recovered photo that I did not have, that's a possibility, right? And then this last one, which I was keenly interested in, looks like I do have a newly recovered photo. So that is fantastic. So while I didn't get all of the photos back, I certainly got several, and a couple of key ones that I really did like the water patterns on. So I'm going to give a thumbs up to this tool here. So this RescuePRO, it came with my SD card. And in this particular case, it was great to have this utility available to me, and salvaged a few shots that I thought otherwise would have been lost forever. So I guess I used to be in the habit of throwing these types of things away, or you buy 4 or 5 memory cards, you get a whole bunch of these, and I never really paid attention to them much. I certainly won't be using this memory card again. This is going to go into the trash and be destroyed. But the rescue software is decent, and in this case, it saved several photos for me that I would have otherwise lost. Hope you found this useful. Hope you found it interesting. You got any stories about recovery of data? Pure deletions, I think, tend to be the easy ones, but this, weird corruption kind of thing, if you got other tools that you know about, drop them in the comments. Let us all learn from your experiences as well. And until next time, my name's Scott Davenport. Happy shooting.